The crystalline halls of Nexus Academy had never witnessed such chaos. Students from 47 different species pressed against the transparent aluminum walls, their various appendages, tentacles, and optical organs straining to catch a glimpse of the new arrival. The first Terran, a Deathworlder, had finally arrived at the galaxy's most prestigious educational institution. Marcus Thompson stepped through the bioscanner, his heavy footsteps echoing ominously in the weightless environment that most students preferred. The artificial gravity generators immediately adjusted to accommodate his presence, causing several Etherian students to stumble as their gossamer forms suddenly felt the pull of standard gravity. "Fascinating," whispered Professor Kethvar, her 6 eyes blinking in sequence as she observed the human through her office viewport. "The readings are extraordinary. His bone density alone could crush most of our students." In the central plaza, Marcus paused to check his schedule tablet. The simple action sent ripples of nervous energy through the crowd. When he accidentally dropped the device, the sharp crack of it hitting the floor made 3 Christian students shatter their outer shells in fear. "Sorry," Marcus called out, his voice carrying easily through the thin atmosphere that other species required. Several gas-breathing nebuloids immediately activated their emergency filters, overwhelmed by the oxygen-rich exhalation. His first class was xenobiology with Dr. Vexthun, a renowned tentacled scholar whose research had mapped genetic structures across the galaxy. As Marcus entered the lecture hall, the professor's 12 limbs froze mid-gesture. "Class, today we have a unique opportunity," Dr. Vexthun announced, his translator struggling with the excitement in his bioelectric field. "We can observe a living specimen from Sol 3, a Class 10 Deathworld." Marcus raised his hand. "Actually, sir, I prefer Earth, and I'm here to learn, not be studied." The professor's chromatophores flickered rapidly, the equivalent of nervous laughter. "Of course, my apologies. Please, tell us about your homeworld's survival mechanisms." "Well," Marcus began, sitting carefully on a reinforced chair, "we have this thing called an immune system. It fights off diseases automatically." The gasps that erupted from the class were like a symphony of alien terror. A gossamer student fainted, her translucent body flickering out of phase. The symbiotic species clutched their external organs protectively. "You mean," squeaked a small chitin class being, "you carry hostile organisms inside you willingly?" "Not willingly," Marcus chuckled, the sound rumbling through his chest like distant thunder. "We just adapted to live with them. Oh, and we have backup organs too. 2 kidneys, 2 lungs." This time, the professor had to activate the emergency calming fields as half the class showed signs of shock. The idea that a species could lose an entire organ and continue functioning was beyond their comprehension. During lunch break, Marcus sat alone in the cafeteria, trying to decode the molecular nutrition charts. His isolation didn't last long as Riley Okonkwo, a senior student from the Procyon system, cautiously approached. "I heard you did something amazing in stellar physics," Riley said, her bioluminescent patches pulsing with curiosity. Marcus looked confused. "I just answered a question about gravitational forces." Professor Zilkoth seemed surprised I could calculate orbital mechanics in my head. "You calculated the trajectory of a 3-body system without computational aid," Riley breathed. "Do you realize what you've done? You solved something that takes our best quantum computers hours to process." Word spread quickly through the Academy's neural networks and communication webs. The Deathworlder who had arrived that morning, expected to be a barely civilized brute, was demonstrating cognitive abilities that defied explanation. His pattern recognition skills exceeded those of the crystalline collective. His spatial reasoning surpassed the geometric specialists from Euclidia Prime. By evening, Headmaster Chuenth called an emergency faculty meeting. The ancient being's plasma form flickered with unprecedented excitement. "We've underestimated them completely," the headmaster declared. "This human isn't just surviving our curriculum, he's excelling at it. His species didn't just evolve to survive their hostile world. They evolved to thrive in it. They're problem solvers, innovators, and survivors all compressed into one remarkable package." As Marcus settled into his dormitory pod that night, Carefully adjusting the life support systems to accommodate his unusual biology, he smiled to himself. Tomorrow would bring new challenges, new subjects to master, and new friends to make. He had no idea that across the galaxy, admission applications from other Deathworld species were already flooding in, inspired by news of the human who was quietly revolutionizing the universe's understanding of what it meant to be intelligent.